Morning, boys and girls, friends, enemies. As you know, I'm not fussy. Now this one's going to be an odd one. The other day on one of the videos I was asked by a long-term subscriber what I looked for in this bike and what I look for in bikes in general and how do I assess them. Not the easiest topic, because I assume with my background and my reasonably extensive knowledge of mechanics, to be able to, I'm trying to phrase this, I just have a wealth of experience that you can't really explain. A lot of it's feeling, but we will try. We will do our best. We will find a little sunny nook. It's bloody cold this morning again. It's winter, isn't it? Whoops. A bit tight here. Not sure it's the best spot. And I don't want to put the footrest on the grass or the mud because it's all soggy. We will look for a slightly better place, shall we? So, not the best place in the world, and my poor old bike is looking a little bit muddy. She is 20 years old. Now, why would I go for a 20-year-old bike other than cost? Because I am a pauper. Good question. It's pre-ABS. It was one of the first series to come out. One of the first series to come out, and they didn't bother with ABS. The early ABS on these was a problem. They had a lot of throwbacks and a lot of recalls. So what do I look for when I go to buy a bike? First thing is the picture. Enlarge it on the computer. Look for problems. Any obvious problems. If you don't see any and the history looks good, you can always check the MOT history on it. Sorry, I'm not paying much attention here. So the first thing I look at, tyres. Are the tyres going to give me enough mileage that I don't have to change them straight away? Are they in date? They've all got a date code on. Wheels, rims, check your spokes, look for any rusty ones. There are about 3 on this bike, but it's a 5-minute job to change them, so not a problem for me. Check wheel bearings, shake the wheel backwards and forwards, rock it. If it's on the centre stand, spin it, listen for noises. Same with the headstock. Give it a good shake. Handbrake on, rock the bike forwards and backwards, see if there's any movement. Same with the back. Check free play, noises, wheel bearings. Check the overall condition of the engine. Look for corrosion. Now this has got a very small spot here. Minutest of spots. If I deal with that, it's going to look messy, so I'm going to leave it. The bike won't rot out before I'm dead. Keep walking around it. Now the exhaust is fairly new, albeit muddy. And what did I find other than the spokes? Well, I found the choke lever didn't work. It was jammed. That's pointer 1. 1150 doesn't matter. That is not an enricher. All that does is raise the revs. So cold start, throttle, quarter turn, it'll start the same. You don't need it. I have managed to free it up with some WD-40 and other bits and pieces, and it is now operational. When I come to removing the tank for a bigger service, I'll replace that cable just because. Other problems. Now I'm not sure. Move my helmet. I'm not actually sure if you're going to hear it because she's really warmed up at the moment. But the other problem I found was a ticking throttle body. Now I don't know if the bug's the noise of the engine. There's a microphone on this silly thing. There's a ticking from that. Now, if you put your finger on it, you can actually feel it. As a reference point, we go to the one that isn't ticking, and there's no pulsing. Now this throttle body is not complicated. It's a crossover between a carburettor and fuel injection. You've got your injector, that comes off, slide that back, slide it off, turn it over, disconnect a couple of wires, sling it in the bin. You can get them second hand for anything from 40 to 60 quid. You can pay hundreds at a dealer and get a new one, or you can rebuild them. I'm not a fan of rebuilding. We were slightly interrupted there by a gentleman in a car who just literally pulled in to ask if I'm alright. Doesn't happen very often, but when it does, it really raises your spirits about bikers. And I've lost my train of thought completely. There was another car. Saddle. That may sound stupid. Check it all over. Feel for lumps and bumps. Passenger one doesn't matter, I don't take passengers, and if I do they deserve to be uncomfortable. Now why? Well, I'll turn her off now. I'm sure you and I have seen these riders who seem to ride almost bloody side saddle. They ride at odd angles. I had it once. I bought a bike and I ended up with hip ache, backache, could never get comfortable. My brother come out and just did that finger test. He said, your saddle's buggered, it's all worn down one side. So it's worth looking at the saddle. Look at the condition of the exhaust, look at the joints and all the collars right the way round to the heads. Any rust, any rot. Check side stand, main stand work. Check that they work well. Check number plate, lights, all the usuals. And that is about it for a second. I can't think of anything more. I'm going to have a crafty fact. I will come back. Yes, there was one other thing. Oil. Now on these they have a little oil window under there, and you can see through the window and see how clear it looks. Judge the oil. If it's a dipstick, you can pull the dipstick out. A, check the level, but B, just feel it. Now I have done that, hence the spot of oil down there. I just let a touch seep out of the drain plug so I could feel the oil. It should be very, very slightly sticky. but it should be nice and clear. That window is slightly hazed, but the oil is spotlessly clean, so no problem there. And I think that just about covers it. Then it's test ride if they let you have one. Some dealers will, some dealers won't. If they let you take it for a test drive, they'll usually hold your wife in your car keys prisoner and your driving licence, and it doesn't matter. If you're that nervous, take it for a test drive. One of the other important things is review. Go on Google, pull up the bike you're interested in, review common or known faults. That will give you a lot of history as to what to look for. I didn't. I know most of the faults on these buggers. And I have a fault. My battery ran out again. I was just about to have a fag and do this little bit on the side of the road. Battery run out again. I've ordered 2 new ones. Don't beat me up. They've been sat in a box for 2.5 years. They've obviously been corrupted. They're charging up fully, but they're just not lasting. So I do apologise about the battery going flat. And again, I'm out of practice of doing all this, and it's not the sort of video I normally do. I'm not one for mumbling about. Now, one good thing about the owner of this bike, he's given us a spare socket and 2 USBs, but he's very craftily run them down to this lead here, which you can take out and plug into the accessory socket. And he's had it got disconnected and strapped there. It's not live, it's dead, so it's fine there. I'm assuming he probably also had electric clothing that he would plug in there, so I think it's probably used for a multitude of things. Again, in the shop I plugged that into there, and I plugged my phone via lead from the car into there just to see if it works. The more little things you can look at, the less problems you're going to have later. I hope that helps. Ask questions. I'm sure I've missed an awful lot. I just do it by walking in the showroom, looking at something, walking around it, and my eyes instantly pick up all those little problems and faults. But to actually do it on a video, I'm going to go and have my cup of tea and my chocky bickies. I'll see you later. Bye.